everyone, this is me Garima Singh. I hope you all are doing well. So today I will discuss about theme second. Here we discuss three chapters like an empire across the three continents, the Central Islamic lands, then Nomadic Empires. Let's discuss how much we can discuss in this one, all of the three or just one or two. So let's move on to the first chapter that is so its name is Empire across three continents. So let's discuss what it's all about. I will basically just go to the question section directly. So this is basically a timeline has been given here. Here is the question. So let's discuss first question. First one is if you had lived in the Roman Empire, where would you rather have lived, in the town or in the countryside? Explain why. So you have to write your own points by looking into this one. So I would have liked to live in the town of Roman Empire, as it had better source of earning and facility to fight with the natural calamities that occurred frequently. In Roman city, there was such a structure which was quite strong to fight with daily life's problem, because towns were coming under the territory of city, and they had been added by the people who belonged to the political and business related fields, so prefer to live in the town. Then second is compile a list of some of the town, cities, rivers, seas and province mentioned in this chapter, and then try and find them on the maps. Can you say something about any three of these items on the list you have compiled? Yeah. So continents are like I choose Europe in North Africa, Ireland, Sicily, rivers Nile, Rhine, Danube basin. Then sea is I'm discussing where like the sea is Mediterranean, Caspian would come in between them. Then Black Sea, Aegean Sea, provinces, Cal, Numidia, Tunisia, Macedonia, town and cities like contestant four in Naples, Damascus, Alexandria, and Rome. So all these things. Then now when it's come to description, so river have been providing irrigation facility for agriculture. Then seas and ocean have been the promotion of trade and commerce. Then town and cities were the main center of economic, social, and political activities in the empire. Then third is like you have to imagine that you are a Roman housewife. Preparing a shopping list for household requirements, what would be on the list? So, as a Roman housewife, I would like to include various item in my list while preparing a shopping list for household requirement, like Roman glass painting, curtains, kitchen appliances, bedsheet, cushion cover, toys, furniture, and other modern appliances of daily life. Then fourth is why do you think the Roman government stopped coining in silver, and which metal did it begin to use for production of coinage? So the Roman government stopped coining in silver because the Spanish silver mine became empty, thus causing dearth of silver in the Roman Empire. Now the Roman government began to use gold for the production of coinage. Then fifth is you have to write a short essay kind of thing. Suppose the Emperor Trajan had actually managed to conquer India and the Romans had held on to the country for several centuries. In what way do you think India might be different today? So, Trajan is remembered as a successful soldier emperor who proceeded over the greatest military expansion in Roman history, leading the empire to attain its maximum territorial extent by the time of his death. So he is also known for its philanthropic role, overseeing extensive public building program and implementing social welfare policies, which earned him his enduring reputation as the second of the five good emperor who presided over an era of peace and prosperity in the Mediterranean world. Then we can also conclude if India had been conquered by Trajan, he would have been the greatest ruler and extended philanthropic rule all over India. There must be absence of democratic ideas and democratic rights in India, so the division of society will be on the basis of Roman society. Go through the chapter carefully and pick out some basic feature of Roman society and economy which you think make it look quite modern. Yeah, so we found that in Roman society, women were quite financially independent in spite of getting married, but got share of property from her natal house. It was the main feature of Roman society. I mean, this picture shows us that women were holding a strong status in that society. I mean, other modern feature we found from Roman economy was that There were very strong trading relations from across the Roman Empire province. It shows that Roman economy was also very strong and provided the revenue to its government. So we are done with this. Now we will discuss the next theme, that is Central Islamic Islands. So we just move on to the question and answer of this chapter. So let's move without wasting time. This activity you have to go through this. So here are the questions. What were the feature of the life of Bedouins in the early 7th century? So Bedouins were Arab tribes. The main feature of their tribe is that feature of their life is like they lead a nomadic life. They were indulged in looting, plundering, and internal quarrels. They were pastoralists and moved with their animal from oasis to oasis, and in date farm and camel were their main diet. The social organization was based on independent tribes then. What is meant by term Abbasid Revolution? Abbasid Revolution. So the term Abbasid Revolution referred to the Dawa movement initiated by Abu Muslim from Khorasan against the Umayyad dynasty. So this revolution put an end to the Umayyad dynasty, which ruled from 1661 to 750 Aman. With the fall of Amanid dynasty in 750, the Abbasid came to power and ruled it till 1258. Then third, give example of cosmopolitan character of the state set up by Arab, Iranian, Turks. So example like the vast Arab Empire was inhabited by people of multicultural identity. I mean that is the Muslim, Christian, and the Jews. Then the Iranian Empire witnessed for development of Muslim and Asian culture. Then Turkish Empire, the Egyptian, Iranian, Syrian, Syrian culture developed simultaneously. Then what were the effect of crusade on Europe and Asia? So the crusades resulted in the fall of authority of feudal lord in Europe and increased power of the monarch. That's obvious. These crusades also resulted into increase in knowledge of the European. I mean, they were surprised to see the progress made by Muslim in the field of art, science, literature. I mean, there was a great influence of Italian mercantile communities in trade between the East and West. Next point you can see there were also led to change in the method of warfare for defense purposes. New forts were constructed. These things you can put in one. Then fifth is how were Islamic agriculture's forms different from those of Roman Empire? So Roman architect, um, I have discussed like the Roman architect form of building was solid and magnificent. I mean these features were the key feature of Roman architect, solid and magnificent. I mean Roman architect feature like arc and cupolas, domes kind of. They were multi-storied building with one raw arc standing over the another, then round arc were used in city gates, bridges, building, and monuments of victory. So the spread of Christianity gave a new impetus to the building of Roman Empire. Saint Sophia is in Constantinople and building in Jerusalem stand witness to the Roman architectural skill. And about Islamic architect. So Islamic architect form represent the greater architectural symbol of Islamic whole. I mean Islamic art right from Spain to Central Asia represents some basic architect features like horseshoes, arcs, pivots, domes, minarets, column, and open courtyard. So Islamic architect pattern of building built around central courtyard was not only the key feature of mosque but also of sarai, that is built of caravans and palaces. Calligraphy and geometric design were also used to decorate architect and manuscript. Then sixth is describe a journey from Samarkand to Damascus, referring to the cities on the route. So this is an activity-based questions. You have to do it by yourself while traveling to Damascus. So a traveler would have to pass through many states. Some of these states like Tashkent, Khorasan, Iran, Iraq, Syria, it's like an activity-based kind of question you have to do by your own self. When someone asks about like what are the few information source of the history of Islamic land, so you can write about chronicles, biographies, Quran, archaeological evidence, eyewitness report, and saying of Prophet Muhammad. Then founder of Islam is Prophet Muhammad. Then there's a two main sect of Muslim. This I'm discussing. just a tidbits. So Siyaz and Sunni, who was Tughril Beg? So Tughril Beg was the founder of Salish dynasty. Then Prophet Muhammad belonged to Quraysh tribe. Various thing, which name Hijri year is also known. Hijri year is also known as lunar year. Then first caliph of Muslim world was Abu Bakr and second one was Umar. Various things. So that's for we will discuss to the next slide, next chapter, that is nomadic herding. So not nomadic herding, it's nomadic empire. So let's go to this question, nomadic empire. First one is, why was trade so significant to the Mughals? Mongols, not Mughals, Mongols, sorry, it's Mongol. So the reason which was occupied by Mongols lacked natural resources. Their steppe region of Central Asia and extreme climate. Cultivation of food was not possible there. I mean, only trade could help their survival. So Mongols were forced to trade as the scarcity resource of the steppes did not help cultivation. So the Mongols traded with neighboring countries, and it was beneficial for both the countries. Then why did Genghis Khan feel the need to fragment the Mongol tribes into new social and military groupings? So there are various. The first one is like Mongols were the inhabitants of this steppe region, so they had their own separate identities. So in order to bring them in touch with other tribes, Genghis Khan took the step. Then Mongol second could be like Mongols were courageous people. Because of his nature, Genghis Khan organized them into military groups and established a formidable army. A sound military organization could be very helpful in trade also. Then childhood experience of Genghis Khan were also responsible for fragmentation of Mongol tribe. Genghis Khan himself had to suffer a lot during his childhood. These things you can put here. Then third is, how do later Mongol reflection on the Yasha bring out the uneasy relationship they had with memory of Genghis Khan. So Yasha were the rules and regulations. These were approved by Kuratala during Genghis regime. These rules were so rebels, yeah. So these rules were mainly concerned with Mongol army, hunting, postage system, social ladder, etc. So they were compilation of tradition and custom that prevail in Mongol tribe society itself. Then fourth is a question, you have to explain the reason why Persian Chronicle produced such inflated figure of casualties resulting from Mongol camping. So it's kind of yes, I agree with this statement. Because for various reasons, like there were vast differences between the secret society of Mangos and Marco Polo travelogue in terms of event and description. Then, being the transcontinental span of Mongol Empire, the source was written in different languages than Persian Chronicle produced inflated figures of casualties resulting from Mongol camping to prove their cruelty or to prove them as cruel assassins. That is a short time of question. What explanation would you suggest to account for these differences? So in this one, you can write Mongol or tribes in steppe of Central Asia, diverse body of people linked by similarity in languages of Tatars, Khitan, and Manchus in east and Turkish steppe to the west. So Beduins were Arab tribes living Sarama, dry to green desert in search of food and fodder for cattle. So some Mongols were pastoralists while others were hunter-gatherers. On the other hand, Bedouins were pastoralists, agriculturists, and traders because of central Islamic lands surrounded by seas from four sides. So these steppe inhabitants usually produce no literature, no art. So our knowledge of nomadic societies under Mongols are quite different, and the Italian Latin version of Marco Polo travel to the Mongol could do not match at all. Then this is the question of like following you have to read through it and give your perception about it. So this kind of activity kind of question you have to do by yourself. So I'm leaving this question to you. Here are few question I want to ask about like who were Mongols. So Mongols were a nomadic tribe of Central Asia. They lived in present-day Mongolia. Basically, the Mongols were cattle herder and hunter-gatherer. Then who was the founder of Nomadic Empires? So Chinggis Khan was the founder of Nomadic Empire. He was born in somewhere in 1162. His childhood name was Temujin. Then why was Chinggis Khan renamed as Temujin and why? So Chinggis Khan was renamed Temujin by his father Yishigui. When he was born, his father defeated the chief of Tatar tribe Temujin. Then there's a term like barbarians. The barbarians derived from Greek word barbas, which means Nordics. In Greek, they were depicted like children who were unable to speak or read properly. Then there was thing like which languages are the most reliable source of Mongols available. So Mongolian, Persian, Chinese, and Arabic. These are the English in all languages unknown. So various thing you can write. Two important sources of Mongols are the secret history of Mongols and travelogue account of Marco Polo. These questions you can write. These are the extra kind of questions you have to remember while going through this chapter. That's for today. Next chapter we'll talk about next.